right? Our REST service is working fine. Now we need to use that REST service, okay, in our application. Okay, so where I have to use, yeah, when user clicking on, okay, this submit button, we are going to where? We are going to this particular button. Now here we are getting the data, okay, we are getting what? Submit button, right? We are getting, okay, the control is going to come to here when user submit, when user click on the submit button. Here what you are doing, just we are displaying the data which is available in the form group. The data which is available in the form group, okay, is getting displayed in the console. Okay, once after displaying the data, the next step is sending the data from here to backend. Okay, to send the data from here to backend, we need to call REST service. To call the REST service, we need a object called HTTP client. Okay, to use HTTP client is available in HTTP module. Okay, even this HTTP module is available in HTTP package. That package by default not included when you create your project initially. So what you need to do is, first of all, you need to import the package called HTTP Angular package. Okay, inside the package, the module called HTTP module is HTTP client module is available. Inside the HTTP client module, we have HTTP client object. Then we can start using HTTP client object, and then you can call the REST services that you have, and you can send the data. Also, you can read the data from backend. Okay, coming, let us go to the step by step to work with HTTP. The very first step is what? Okay, what I will do is, instead of stopping, yeah, anyways, after installing, we need to restart it. So what I will do is, just I stop the server, print end server. Okay, make sure backend server is still running, guys. I did not stop the backend server. Always it should be running. Okay, clear. Okay, see here, this is going to be something like Angular and this information, right? Okay, so when we are talking about form and HTTP client object, yeah, here what I need to do, not ng, npm install or I is also fine. And then yes, HTTP importing, not importing, this is first of all we need to download the package. Okay, if download the HTTP package, after downloading, then we need to import the HTTP client module. Why? Because the package by default the package will not be available. You need to import the package. You need to install the package. Yeah, coming to here, to install that, npm I for install, and then next one is I for install. Yeah, what is the next step? Installation is what? @angular / HTTP. Okay, this is the package. This is the package name. Okay, enter this. So that it start installing HTTP package into your project. Okay, once after installation, then we can use it. Okay, once for the application, if you install HTTP package for this project, you don't need to install again and again. That's one time activity. All right, it's going to be one time activity. All right, that's going to be a one time activity. Okay, okay, so for my HTTP client object, and okay, yeah, coming here, the next step is, let's ng start. Okay, you can start it now, because if you start it, it is going to take some time, right? Couple of minutes to get started. That's why you can use it. ng serve, actually, ng serve, or I told you one another command also to run the application. Npm start, you can say npm start command internally call ng serve. Okay, so I have to give as many as possibilities to you people, so that you cannot find any new when you enter into projects, when they are using okay, different approach. You should not feel okay, too much new. Okay, that's why I just want to give as much as information, okay, in this Angular. Okay, yeah, that's why I'm giving different approach also in npm start. Okay, we can say npm start or ng serve, the both are fine. Okay, now that's okay. Yeah, let us go to our code. I want to use HTTP client. To use HTTP client, we need HTTP module. To use HTTP module, we need to install HTTP package. Yeah, we just installed it. The next step is importing the package. Sorry, importing the module. Okay, where we are in the app module. We are writing code inside the app module, right? So we need to import here HTTP client module. Okay, HTTP client module. So this is not by default coming, so we need to import the class from @angular common HTTP. This will, okay, yeah, now HTTP client module is there. Okay, fine, good. Now copy this and then provide inside the HTTP client module imports. Okay, provide this import array after import. Okay, now coming to here, app control, app component. Now coming to here, console.log, console.log, console.log. Okay, once after saying console.log, yeah, we are awaiting to send the data from front end to back end, right? Yeah, so it's okay. The last step that we need to do here, we already install the package and then imported the module. The next step is we need to work with HTTP client. For that, HTTP client object is required. Okay, actually you don't need to create HTTP client object because HTTP client object is already created by the Angular. Okay, so because the creating HTTP client object is not easy thing. To create that object, it requires many dependencies. Okay, if you want to create your own HTTP client object by using new, simply it is not going to happen. We need to inject so many things to create HTTP client object. You need to know a lot to work with HTTP client object. To create object, for that you need to know a lot. So without knowing anything, you can use that object directly. That can be called as abstraction. Okay, Angular is providing abstraction for us. Angular is offering abstraction, okay, in creating, okay, such kind of objects, complex objects. So abstraction is nothing but what? Okay, hiding complexity, okay, in doing something. Yes, it has provided, yes, absolutely, it has provided abstraction. And abstraction is, it has provided, it has hiding, it is hiding, okay, some kind of complexity in creating HTTP client object. You don't need to worry about how HTTP client object is going to be created. What are the things we require to create HTTP client object? We really don't bother about it. Okay, we simply use, okay, we simply use, okay, you simply use, okay, HTTP client object, okay, directly by injection. Okay, injection means who is going to inject? Angular is going to inject HTTP client object into your component, okay, we are app component, right? We are in app component, right? Yeah, let us take constructor. How to inject using constructor? So for this constructor, okay, in this constructor, if you take the property, what you can do is provide, you can, it's a shortcut key actually, taking injection and taking the property provide. What you can do, what is the property name? I want to take HTTP client HC, and the type is what? HTTP client object. Oh, not module, make sure HTTP client object only. So now this HTTP client at runtime, while creating object for app component, okay, object is going to be injected. So that by the time this method is getting executed, already this got injected. So you can use it, okay, without thinking, okay, so whether this object is available or not. It's okay, already available. Okay. All right. Now to use any instance properties, what you need to use this dot HC dot, we need to send the data now. I don't want to get the data. I need to use a URL which is related to post. Okay, the post URL, right? Even we have tested the URL with which method? Post method. So use the post method. Okay, use the post method. What method, right? The post method. The post method is something like, yeah, what is the URL? Yeah, copy the URL, whatever we have tested, copy this URL. Okay, copy the URL, copy the URL. Also import, it did not work. What is that? I had tested latest version of font also may come, then hit also need to input. Okay, I'll show you how to work with okay, fonts also. I'll show you guys. I'll show you. I'll show you. Okay, no problem. Okay, yeah, coming to here, this is going to be something like URL. Okay, this is URL. Okay, the URL. This is something URL. Okay, so what is this? The post is going to be something like URL. See here, guys, URL. This is the URL. Okay, this is going to be the URL, and get method, you know, takes only URL, but post method takes what? Along with the post method, it is going to take the data what to post. You know, comma, what you can do is you need to provide the data, what kind of data you want to send to this URL. To this REST service, what kind of data you want to send? Yes, you can take this data, yeah, whatever data you are printing, right? You can take directly and you can provide it. See here, guys, this is the data you are sending, and this is what? This is going to be something like, okay, URL. But make sure that, okay, make sure that, yeah, just come to Postman, come to Postman. Now we have to send this data to the URL, right? You have to send this data to this, okay, backend, right? What are the keys you are using? Name, phone, WhatsApp. If these keys are different, what happens? Data is not going to be, data cannot be sent from browser to server. Server is not going to take, meaning that the REST service will not accept your data if the, you know, keys are different. The only communication between front end and back end while transferring the data means, okay, especially in terms of JSON, the keys are very important. Okay, it has specified in the documentation. You can go to the, you know, you can go to, okay, here, this is the Swagger. In the Swagger, clearly telling that you have to use this kind of format. Format means the keys should be exactly you need to use while sending the data. If you people are okay using different keys, then it is not going to work. Okay, that's why while sending data, that may be from okay, that may be from Postman, or that may be from front end application, the keys exactly should be get matched. If keys are different, okay, then okay, it is not going to take in. That's why refer, okay, Swagger, what kind of keys you have to send. But now coming to here, what happens in the, yeah, while sending the data, okay, what kind of data you are sending? Yeah, just go to, okay, here and then check it out. Okay, check it out here. Okay, what you can do, you can provide some data, right? Yeah. What kind of data you are sending? The JSON, right? The JSON contains what kind of keys? Okay, before going to that, before calling the REST service, what you can do is you can go to and then you can check it. Yeah, let me comment this part. Okay, and print this data in the console and then check it out. Okay, what kind of data and what kind of keys your data contains. Okay, for that, let us go to here and then see, provide some data and then provide some numbers. WhatsApp on this, yeah, let's look at it, guys. Check it out. Here, name, phone, and WhatsApp. Yeah, if name, phone, WhatsApp, how did they get it? How did they get it? The keys here, name, phone, WhatsApp, keys are there, right? Okay, so exactly the key name is name, here key name is phone, here key name is WhatsApp. How did they get it? Okay, these are names of the form controls, form control names. Whatever form control name you are going to take, the key also going to become you know, that name only. Okay, for the testing purpose, what I will do is I'm going to, you know, provide different name here. Why? Because this discussion is very, very important. Why? Because to unlock the secret behind how data is going to transfer from front end to back end. So now, okay, if I take name 123, see here guys, if I change name 123, what I need to take, I have to use this name 123 in the front end also, right? Yeah, so this form control is also name 123. Let's look at it. If I change form control name, meaning that if I change the form control, then if you take this one and then just restart this and then restart this, provide some data, click on this. Yeah, let's look at it guys. What happened? The name is name 123. That's why the form control names. Now we need to send this data to where guys? I need to send this data to backend. To send the data to the backend, what kind of data we need to provide? What kind of keys we have to use? Name, phone, WhatsApp. See, what is your data now? What is your key data? What is your key data as of now? As of now, the key data is what? Yeah. Okay, just it's already. Click on this. What is the key data? The key is the name 123. No, this is not getting matched. Phone and WhatsApp both are getting okay. So matched. Is that okay, guys? Yeah. Let's open both the things. Okay. Yeah. These both things should get matched. Okay. This is the ID we are not using anyways. And then come back to here. Oh, it's not there. Yeah. Coming to check it out here. Phone. That's fine. And then just yeah. WhatsApp, yes, WhatsApp is also getting matched, and then phone is also getting matched, and then name and name 123 are different. Name and name 123 are different. All right, name and name 123 are different. So it should not be like this. Okay, here when you are sending the data from front end to back end, you need to send name 123. Okay, see here, guys, instead of using name 123, it should be name. Okay, it should be name only. All right, yeah. Give me a second, guys. Okay, order need not to be same. Don't worry about it. No need to worry about the order, but order can be any order. But the names should be exactly, the key name should be exactly matching, and as well as data type also. Okay, make sure the data type you are sending, phone is a number and you are trying to send the string, it is not going to accept it. Okay, that should be like data types, and then key names should be matching. All right. Okay, so now yeah, the name 123 is not going to be suitable. Okay, what you need to do, guys, you need to take okay, this one, instead of name 123, we have to use name to make the key. Yeah, see here, guys, what is it? Name 123. Okay, and here also we need to take name 123. So this is going to get matched. Both things are going to get matched. See here, guys, this is going to be the name, phone, and WhatsApp. Okay, with these names only, JSON is going to be created. So that when you are taking these names, okay, you have to be very careful about, you have to check. Okay, finally it is going to generate the JSON, right? That's why the JSON keys should get matched with the backend JSON. Where can you see the backend JSON? In the Swagger. You can open the Swagger and then you can check it out. The name, phone, and WhatsApp. Okay, the keys are matching. If they are matching, then only that's fine. Okay, now that discussion is also okay, so important for us. Yeah, now we are calling this dot. Okay, so HTTP client dot post method. Whenever you call get method, post method, put method, delete method, this is going to return observable object. Okay, it is not, whenever you call like this, it doesn't go to the backend. It doesn't go to the backend. Remember this. When it goes to the backend means, if you subscribe it, then only it calls the backend. Otherwise, it will not get called. It will not get called backend. Okay, for that, what I can do is, subscribe. You can provide the method called subscribe. You can call the method called subscribe. Okay, see here, this is going to become subscribe. Okay, within the subscribe method, you know that we are providing two methods. These two methods are what kind of two methods? One is success method, another is failure method. Success method and failure method. Okay, so now when you see this, when you say like subscribe method, Okay, you provide. Okay, now, okay, so within the subscribe, what I will do is I'm going to provide two functions. Okay, yeah, this is one function and this is another function. Okay, this function is going to take success, and then of course, okay, for any method you are calling any method from HTTP client. Okay, from any method from HTTP client, okay, you have to use subscribe method. That subscribe method takes two methods. One method is for success method. Yeah, I'm doing nothing here. Yeah, so just if it is success, just we are printing it. Okay, if it is failure also, whatever failure information, that failure information is going to come to this argument. So we can say console.log of, okay, yes, failure. That's it, guys. We just call this submit button. If you see this submit button now, when we click on submit button, that may, that is even binding with this particular method. This method is going to get called, then it will goes to this REST service along with the data that user has provided. Then of course, for the subscribe method, we have provided success method and failure method, right? Yeah, you can write in multiple lines also. The comma separated, just make sure that the comma is separated between this method and this method. All right, these two methods are available inside the, okay, method parameters. Okay, method parameters. These are the method parameters. These two method parameters. Okay, remember that these two are method parameters. Yeah, let's go and test it. Yeah, go to the front end. Where is that front end application? Let us go to here. Yeah, here it is, right? Now that may be successful, or that may be, okay, successful, or that may be, okay, that may be successful, or that may be failure. That information we are, displaying in the console. All right, yeah, the former name is going to be something, and then phone number I have provided, and WhatsApp number I have provided, and clicking on the submit button. Yes, yeah, the first data is we are printing from the form. After some time, the data got printed along with the, okay, ID. So meaning that after successful, the data again, whatever data it has saved, the latest data is coming back. So whatever data coming back, that we are, okay, so we are trying to display. So that is this information related to that. Okay, the second JSON, right? This is successful information along with the ID. Okay, guys. Okay, that is successful. Okay, of course, we are doing it. Okay, we are doing it for submit button, save button. Okay, if you try to save the data, what we are doing, we are taking submit button, all these things. All right, guys. Yeah, before going this one.